phone with the news media. And that reminds me, guys, that's why we got to hire more people. But then I got to watch for infiltrators. And this is literally a cloak and dagger job I have. And I'm just out in the open, a good guy trying to tell the truth. And I got to look out for everything. I got to calculate what people are doing. I've got to... I'm not whining. It's just one hell of a responsibility. People talk about how they're bored. I'm the opposite. I got too much stimulus, too much crazy stuff. I'm getting to the point where, oh boy, I'm getting tailed again, or, feds coming up to me, doing stuff. It's just ongoing insanity. And I catch myself where nothing even affects me anymore. Like horrible things can be done to me. I don't even care anymore. And you'd think I'd want to be to that point of not caring, but it's like I've almost lost part of myself because I'm not even worried about being killed. I'm not even worried about being falsely imprisoned. I'm not even worried about, all I'm worried about is other people. And it's not like I'm some saint. I care about my innocent children. That's the only thing. I look at how sweet and innocent they are and other people's children, and I wonder how they grow into these evil adults that do all this bad crap. And none of us are perfect, but just the level of duplicity and envy and lying and everything else in society, and then how good people sit there and take it, and then all the positive things that are happening, the great leaps and bounds we're making, it's just all on overdrive. I'm going to go to Lily, Mark, Jerry, Jeff, and others, all on flu issues, and I want to get Bob Chapman's take on that and some financial stuff. But, Bob, you've been fighting the globalist since the early 1960s or even earlier, and you've worked and dealt with all of this. Have you ever gotten to the point where you start getting almost numb to things and then it freaks you out, or is it different for you?
Well, I think it's in part your personality, and I came to the conclusion that I could accept a lot of things that most other people couldn't. And so I really didn't have a hard time with it. It was, I think, because I approached it intellectually. And, of course, I was on the street as well as a pamphleteer and all that sort of thing. But I'm just different, and I just keep on going. I won't stop. I meet people who knew me as a child and chummed around with me, and they say, "Oh, well, we always knew that you were going to be something important because you never gave up."
Well, absolutely. I'm not talking about that. I'm saying that I have this nothing but a passion to fight the globalist that's all consuming to the point of I don't even care at all about people lying about me or attacking me anymore. And it's almost like a blindness or something. It's like all these other understandings I have expanded. I don't know how to describe it. It's just really weird.
I know how to describe it. You're accepting the fact that the enemy is always after you, and you're always exposing what they're doing, and you don't care. You don't care what they think. I don't care what they think. You just keep on plowing ahead.
It's just weird, Bob, to truly become fearless. It's almost like I liked having a little fear. It's like I've lost something. I don't, but I guess you would say it's gaining something?
Oh, yes, because we've risen above them, and we're really giving them a bad time. And they deserve it. They're evil people, and we have the ability to do so we're going to do it.
Well, speaking of waking up, every week we talk, the liberty movement is just exploding and exploding. National news, local news is calling for my arrest. Freedom of hate speech is the headline for just putting up Obama posters that say Infowars.com. The fact that we can shake these tyrants up so quickly really shows how weak they are. They wouldn't be upset by this if they weren't weak and if they weren't scared of the people rising up and kicking their butts.
Again, for the last... They're wrong, and we're getting to them. You got to remember, these broadcasts go all over the world. I talk to people on the Internet in Paris and London and all over the place. And, we're doing a magnificent job of reaching the world. And these guys in the Council on Foreign Relations and the Royal Institute, they got to be banging their heads against the wall. How can we get rid of these people without killing them?
All right, I want to go to some flu calls so you can comment on what they're saying. Bob, they're now backing off partially, at least some reports saying they may not try to vaccinate the entire population now, but they are going to try to force it on school kids and other people. Then mainstream news in Europe, here's one of the articles, swine flu jab linked to killer nerve disease. Leaked letter reveals concern over neurologist, over 25 deaths in America, mainly in Texas, just since they started trials. Bob, what are your ideas to get this out in U.S. media? I mean, the head of Health and Human Services should be asked this every time she's in a press conference. This should be top news story that they're getting ready to inoculate 100+ million people with something that's killing a large percentage of those that take it, and the CDC knows it and is covering it up. Your take on that and how we get the word out?
Well, first of all, they have to be doing something besides giving swine flu shots. There's got to be something else in there. They never do things in a unilateral manner. They always have more than one goal, usually several goals, when they take a program like this and push it forward. And the worst thing that can happen is that they give it to the children. And the worst thing of all, my daughter's a teacher, and she's got 3 children, and she's not going to allow them to give this shot to them. And I said, well, if you do that, they may put you in an internment camp. She said, I don't care. She's not going to get it.
Well, I think it's because of that attitude that they're probably not going to get away with this. I already see some signs they're pulling back, but I don't want to say that too clearly because they may give us a curveball, try something else. They appear to be going full steam ahead, but I'm seeing such an awakening that we have a very good chance of stopping them. I mean, I want to be honest with people, but at the same time, then not have folks stand down and not get involved. If we go absolutely wild and post posters everywhere and say, don't take the flu shot and get involved, then they will be forced to back off and then not try it again in a few years if our response is big enough against them. But if we don't stand up and say no, they may go all the way to the wall with us with it, with the sterilants or whatever's in it. They've been caught before. Or they may stop now and try it a year from now. What do you say to that, Bob?
I say that we can do it. And you've got the medium to do it. I have a minor part of that. But we've got to keep on hammering. You see my health section. It's never been so big. I've got 20 links in the health section from all over the world explaining how these shots are dangerous and they could very well kill you. We've got people in Europe who are spreading the information everywhere. And especially in Europe, the LaRoche people are spreading the word that, don't take the shots. And so, yes, word of mouth, everything that we can do. And I think you're right about the chinks in their armor. I think that they're in trouble with this one. And I'll tell you why. Because they're in trouble. We got a Rasmussen poll, a 44 approval rating on the president. I think the Congress has a 12 rating.
Yeah, I forgot to go over that. Guys, will you pull up the Rasmussen, is 44 or 43? I saw that this morning and forgot to print it. What's the number?
Well, I didn't see this morning's.
Well, I saw the article this morning. When did that come out?
I don't know.
Yeah, no, but I saw the Rasmussen. I think it was 44 or 43. Just Google president's approval now at 44 or 43. It should bring it up. But yeah, I mean, he's losing a couple points a week, Bob.
Well, this is a syndrome. Incidentally, I predicted 40 by September, October in January. So
I remember
we're
that.
on with this one. But he's got this medical plan, and I'm sure that they'll have some crummy medical plan passed, but most of the stuff that people are complaining about won't be in there. And I think that this has really rattled them, and it has cast a pall over the Democrats, because if I had to guess, 70 to 80% of the people don't want this medical plan, no matter what's in it. And then you have cap and trade, which is having trouble in the Senate. You get these terrible ratings. You get the dollar going down, which is going to affect people, even though they don't know it yet. And I think also, besides not making the shots mandatory, if we can push them into that corner, then they won't do other things for at least a while.